Hello and welcome to Her Online Business Podcast, the podcast for aspiring and experienced female web entrepreneurs. I am Adama, your host, and here you will find digital marketing tips for building your online business, interviews from inspiring female entrepreneurs from all over the world, lessons and mistakes from my experience in entrepreneurship, and much more. I am passionate about helping other women live their dream life thanks to an online business that matches their passion and serves their purpose. So let's hang out, have fun, and grow together. How much should you charge for your services? As a new entrepreneur, your pricing strategy is key for the profitability aspect of your business and also being able to actually enjoy the work you are doing and making sure that your clients are going to get the best value out of your services. So welcome to today's episode. We are going to talk about pricing strategies for new entrepreneurs and actually what are the mistakes that you should definitely avoid regarding your pricing. So let's dive into it. I've decided to break down the different pricing strategies that you can take right now into three different categories. So there are three different pricing strategies that I would recommend you to look into if you are just starting your business. The first pricing strategy that you can use is project-based. So that's usually what freelancers do, for instance. So they get paid regarding the project that they are going to take from the client. So let's say you are a web designer. Your project can be designing a website for a client. So you are going to be paid based on that, based on the fact that you are going to deliver their new website. And so your pricing should be based on the project that you are going to take. So building a website takes a lot of back and forth messaging and communicating with your client. And it is supposed to be a final product that your client is going to be able to use, right? So you have to make sure that you can actually deliver his product from start to finish. That's why it is for someone who already knows their field, who already knows how much time they need to deliver his service. That way you can make sure that at the end of the project, your client is happy. So regarding how you will charge your client, usually when it's project-based, you will charge a certain amount of money before starting the project, let's say 25 to 30%. And then at the end of the project, you are going to charge the rest of the money that you agreed with your client. Of course, if it is something that costs thousands of dollars, you can also offer a payment plan to your client, which is going to help them take the decision if they want to invest in your services, but they cannot pay in full right now, or if dividing the price into two, so one part at the beginning of the project and the other part at the end of the project is still not flexible enough for them. So it really depends on which type of clients you are taking. But usually if you have one skill that you are very good at and that you know you can get paid based on the project and not based on the time you spend on it, then you can look into this strategy. So for the advantages of the strategy, the cool thing is that you agree upon with your client on all the things that you are going to deliver regarding the project. So if it's a website, you will agree with your clients regarding how many pages you are going to build, what are the customization you are going to make, what are the plugins you are going to use, and so on. And so you have to make sure that in your contract, you write down all the things that you will deliver to your clients. And so that way you can have a price that is very understandable for your client, and they will know exactly what they are going to pay you for. So they will know exactly what are the features that they are going to get for their website. And you decide your pricing not based on how much time you spend implementing something, but on the value that you are offering. Now, for the downside of this strategy, I would say that It is a strategy for someone who has already been in his field before. So if you are a web designer or a software engineer in your corporate life, then it is going to be easier for you to transition into being a web designer for yourself and charging people for your product. But if you have never done this before, you may underestimate the time that you need to achieve this project. And so in that case, you will probably have to extend, the contract with your clients. If you told them that the website is going to be ready in 2 months, but you underestimated all the things that you had to do, then you may have to delay the deliverability of the project, and then you will have to justify that to your client. So since they pay you based on the project, if you end up spending more time doing the things that you have to do, you cannot charge your client more for that, right? Because it was your own mistake from the beginning. So that's why I would recommend this strategy to someone who already has an idea of how much time they need to actually achieve the project and deliver it to the client. Now for the second strategy, which is something that is very common as well, it is to package your offer. And so when you package your offers, you have two possibilities. So either you go for one single package with the different type of services that you know you are good at and that you know you can offer to your client. So let's say you are a virtual assistant, you can have one package where you put the different tasks that you will do as a virtual assistant and one single price for the entire package. So this strategy is great if you are targeting one single type of client and you are just starting out. So you want to also test out your services and how you feel when you work with clients. So it is not a one size fits all. It is a strategy really targeted to one specific client. And so it will make your life easier because that way you have only one price that you can put everywhere on your website and social media, and people don't have to wonder how much they should pay you for your services because it's only one package and everything is included. Now, for the plus sides of this strategy, the thing is you have only one type of client, so it makes your life easier, and you have only one price, and it is a non-negotiable price. That's the price you decided to have for the services included in this package, and that's it. And for the downside, you have to be very clear on your ideal client, because if your pricing seems off when looking at the services that you included in the package, then you will never be able to meet your potential audience and your potential clients. That's why it is a strategy for someone who already knows who their ideal client is and who already did a market research to make sure that this type of services is exactly what their ideal client is waiting for. Otherwise, you may have an offer that doesn't meet your demand. That's the first type of package you can have. The second type of packaging strategy you can do is what I call a multi-level packaging strategy. So here you can have 2, 3, or more packages depending on which stage is your client in. So let's say you are a virtual assistant. You can have a basic, a standard, and a premium package. So in the basic package, you can put the different admin tasks that you are going to do. If you are going to post on their social media maybe twice a week, and it's going to be an affordable package, it is more like a starter package for people who need some help, but they don't have a lot of budget to invest into a virtual assistant, right? So you can meet them where they are at with this basic package. Then you can have a standard or a popular package that includes most of the services that people would need from a virtual assistant with a little bit more budget. So here you can have the admin task, but you can have more time managing their social media. So for instance, you can create 3 or 4 posts a week instead of 2 in the basic package. And also it can include some engagement, creating content and visuals and so on. So that would be the standard package because it includes more or less all the tools and services that people would need from a virtual assistant. And finally, you can have a premium package with a full-blown service. And here you are completely going to take over their social media, taking over their admin load, so all the emails and messages that they are receiving, and of course, creating some of their content, visuals, and so on. So this package is going to be for businesses that already have some budget, they are looking to scale, they just don't have time to manage all of these things because their business is growing. So with this multi-level packaging strategy, you can meet 3 types of clients depending on which stage of their growth and business they are at. And so that's the main bonus that you can have with this strategy. And for the downside, I would say that it is a strategy for someone who is very organized and very comfortable offering different type of services. And you have to make sure that the premium package is really different from the standard and the basic package, right? Because people will tend to go for the cheapest price if they don't see the value of the most expensive packages. So that's why it is your job here to make the different packages super, super clear. And if you are an agency type or working with other people, then it's going to be easier for you to dispatch the workload between the different people. But if you are working on your own, it's going to be more challenging to manage these 3 packages and take on clients with different type of packages. So that's why you have to be super, super organized when you choose this strategy. And finally, the third type of pricing strategy that I would recommend, regardless of your industry and the type of online business you have, is a premium pricing strategy, or what I call the luxury brand strategy. So here, the goal is to have a premium service that you are only going to offer to people and businesses who can afford these services and who are ready to invest a lot of money to get the best quality out there. So you are going to offer a full-blown service, meaning that you will completely take over one of their workload. So you can be their social media manager and managing for them 1, 2, or more accounts, and they will not have to create anything. So you do the engagement, you do the visuals, the captions, etc. So you create the content for them and you manage it. You can also be their virtual assistant, but you handle more than just admin tasks. You have them launch their projects. You also engage with their community. You are there every time they need you. And so you are offering them a premium service because you are going to take a lot of their workload upon your shoulders. And I call that a luxury brand strategy because just like luxury brands do, you offer a higher price because you want to meet people who are ready to invest more money, right? And so the perceived value of your services is going to be higher because your price is higher. And so for the plus sides of this strategy, the thing is that you will be able to take less clients, but charge more because you have a premium price. And usually clients who are ready to pay premium are the best type of client you can wish for because since they are putting a lot of money, they know what they are expecting and they are also ready to put in the work to make the relationship work with you. And they already know the value of your services. And so that's why they are ready to invest more money to have the best quality out there. Now, regarding the downside of this strategy, you have to be super confident about your pricing and make sure that your premium price is justified. Not justified by the time you are going to spend delivering this service, but justified with the quality that you are offering. Because what you don't want to do is to be seen like a luxury brand because you decided to set a higher price, but then when we compare your services to someone else's services from, for example, the packaging strategy, they look more or less the same. There is no added value. And so you don't want your luxury brand to be compared to a mass market brand with a lower price. So that's why here you have to be super clear on the added value that you are offering and making sure that the transformation you are promising is actually going to happen. So these are the 3 pricing strategies that I would recommend you if you are a new entrepreneur. So just to recap, the first one is a project-based pricing strategy. The second one is a package-based pricing with either one package or what I call multi-level packaging. And finally, you can decide to have a premium/luxury brand pricing strategy where you have one premium price to meet clients who are ready to invest more money to have more quality as well. So I hope that makes sense to you. Let me know which of these 3 strategies you are going to use. And if there was one strategy that you didn't know, also write in the comments and let me know what you thought about it. And so I want to share with you also the mistakes that you need to avoid right now regarding your pricing. The first mistake you should avoid is to charge hourly. So it's not really a mistake, I would say, but it's more like a huge risk that you are taking. Because usually people who charge hourly, they are trying to have very inexpensive prices to meet the most people they can. And the problem with that is that you may get clients because you are cheap, but the clients you are going to take are also going to be cheap clients in a sense that these people are going to expect you to deliver services that are way above the price that you agreed upon. So you may end up being easily burnt out if you take a lot of clients based on a hourly rate. And so you will be kind of working the same way you would work for a 9 to 5, which is not the goal when you decide to take the leap and be an entrepreneur. So that's why I would say that charging hourly is super risky if you are just starting out and just charging a couple of bucks for your services, because your services are worth more than $20 an hour or even $50 an hour, right? But when you are starting, it's difficult for you to actually own your pricing. That's why you may go for hourly. Yes, so that's usually what freelancers do. And if you really want to have a sustainable business and scale it, I would definitely recommend you to avoid charging hourly and look into one of the 3 strategies that I presented before. The second mistake that people make regarding their pricing is not taking into account taxes and all the tools and software they need to make their business work. So if you don't take into account fees, money that you are going to have to spend anyway, you may end up losing money when working with a client. So here we are talking about the profitability aspect of your business, because it's not because you charge $50 for your service that you are going to get $50 in your pocket. Out of these $50, you will have to pay your taxes, also pay your softwares and so on. So you may end up having maybe 30 to 50% of this money into your pocket, but not more than that. And so that's why it is important for you to take into account all the expenses that you have related to your business, because remember, you are a businesswoman, you are not an employee anymore, so you also don't get any advantages and bonuses that you could get from a regular 9 to 5, such as health insurance or saving for your retirement and so on. You don't get that as an entrepreneur. So that's why it is important for you to also take that into account when setting your prices. And finally, the last mistake that you should avoid regarding your pricing strategy is trying to take on too many clients instead of increasing your pricing when necessary. So if you have 50 clients who pay you $50 for your services, first of all, it's going to be very difficult for you to handle the workload, especially if you are working a 9 to 5. And second of all, you will still not be profitable. So instead, if you feel like you have to take too many clients to reach your income goal, which is something that you should set from the very beginning of your business, then you should increase your price. And if that scares you, then it means that you have some work regarding your money mindset to do. And it takes time. It's not something that you can change from one day to another. But definitely know that if you feel icky about your pricing and increasing your pricing, it is all in your head. You may think that people are not going to buy, that they will say it's too expensive. Some people may say that. And it's not personal. It says something about the fact that we also have money mindset issues that we have to work on, right? And it's not your job to do that. So what you have to do is to meet your ideal client where they are at. And people are not going to see the value of your services if you go for the cheapest rate and the cheapest prices. Remember that. It's all about the perceived value. We perceive more value in things that are more expensive, and we also put more work into things that we invest more money. So that's why when you go for clients who are going to pay more to get more quality, you will have an amazing working relationship with them because they are already seeing the value of your services. You don't have to convince them that what you are doing is actually valuable and that you are going to help them really improve their life or their business. So yes, that's what I wanted to share with you in this episode. I hope it was helpful to you. And if you are just starting out as an entrepreneur, I have a free checklist with a 30-day roadmap to get you started and also identify your ideal client need. So it's a 30-day roadmap to actually start promoting your services on social media and identify what kind of offer you can put together to meet your ideal client's need as well. And if you have any questions regarding your pricing strategy, if it is something you are still struggling with, feel free to DM me at ah.diallo, and we can have a little chat about that as well. And yes, so I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next week. That's already the end of the episode. Thanks a lot for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then give me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Google Play, share this episode with your friends, and comment to let me know that you like this kind of subject. Also, if you want to hang out with me, follow me on Instagram at ah.diallo, where I share more of my entrepreneurial journey and my services. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast to get notified when a new episode comes out. Until then, I wish you a nice day and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.